Not the France of romance and light, but the France of the Sun King, Louis XIV, a world of glittering gold, brutal power, and dark whispering secrets. And the darkest secret of all was locked away in the deepest, darkest dungeon of the Bastille. He had no name, no past, no future. The other prisoners and guards knew him only by the terrible sound of his footsteps and the chilling sight of his face, or rather what covered it. A mask, not of cloth or leather, but of cold black iron, a faceplate bolted shut, never to be removed. They called him the Man in the Iron Mask. Who was he? A traitor? A monster? Or something far more dangerous? Our story doesn't begin with him, but with four aging heroes. Once, they were legendary, the Three Musketeers, Athos, Porthos, Aramis, and of course, their leader, the brave and noble D'Artagnan. But time has passed. D'Artagnan is now the captain of the King's Musketeers. Loyal to Louis, to his very core, Aramis has taken a different path. He has become a Jesuit priest and a schemer. One night, Aramis receives a visitor in the shadows of his church. It is the head jailer of the Bastille. The man is trembling, his conscience eating him alive. He reveals the truth about the masked prisoner. The man in the iron mask is not a criminal. He is a prisoner of birth, of blood. He is the king's identical twin brother. His name is Philippe, born minutes after Louis. He was ripped from his mother's arms, hidden away, and erased from history. Why? Because two heirs are a threat. One must be king, the other must be nothing. Aramis's mind races. He sees the true Louis XIV vain, arrogant, selfish, a king who steals of his own subjects and throws parties while his people starve. And he sees Felipe, innocent, kind, raised in isolation, knowing nothing of the world. A dangerous idea is born. What if the wrong brother is on the throne? Aramis enlists his old friends, Athos and Porthos. He tells them of the great injustice. Together, they plot to right this terrible wrong. They will break Philippe out of prison and switch him with the king. The plan is audacious, brilliant. During a lavish masquerade ball at the palace, where everyone is already wearing masks, they kidnap King Louis and lock him away in a remote island fortress. They then present Felipe, coached by Aramis, to take his place. For a few fleeting days, it works. Felipe, with his innate goodness, is a better king than Louis ever was. He shows mercy. He listens to the people. He is just that they underestimated one thing: the bond of loyalty. D'Artagnan, the faithful musketeer, is tasked with guarding the king. But this new king feels different. His voice, his mannerisms, something is off. D'Artagnan's sharp eyes see through the deception. His duty is to the true king, no matter how flawed. Meanwhile, the real Louis, furious and cunning, manages to get a message out. The game is up. Aramis's glorious plan collapses into dust. Louis retakes his throne, his wrath hotter than the sun itself. Felipe is captured. The rebellion is over. But what to do with the evidence? What to do with the living, breathing proof that the Sun King's right to rule is a lie? He cannot kill his own brother. That is a sin too great. But he can make him disappear forever. So Louis XIV gives the order. The Iron Mask is brought forth, not to hide Felipe's face from the world, but to hide the world from Felipe, to ensure he never sees the sun, never feels the wind, never knows a kind look from another human being. He is condemned to a fate worse than death. To be a ghost, a nameless soul in a cold metal cage, and the king turns to the one man he trusts absolutely, D'Artagnan. You will escort the prisoner to the island fortress of Sainte Marguerite, he commands. You will ensure he never escapes. You will ensure no one ever sees his face. D'Artagnan is torn apart. He knows this is a monstrous injustice. He knows his old friends Aramis and Porthos were right in their hearts, but wrong to betray their oath. His loyalty to the crown battles, his loyalty to what is right. He obeys his orders. He takes Felipe to his new, inescapable prison. But as he looks at the masked figure, a man who is the mirror image of the king he serves, his soul aches with the wrongness of it all. Years pass. The secret is buried, but the moral cost is immense. Athos dies of a broken heart, ashamed of his son who fought for the rebellion. The glorious Porthos, the mighty giant, dies in a heroic last stand, helping Aramis escape the king's wrath. He dies not for a king, but for a friend. Aramis, the mastermind, flees to exile, his clever schemes ending in tragedy and death. And D'Artagnan, the most loyal of them all, he is promoted, celebrated, but forever haunted. He remained true to his oath, but was the oath worth the price of a man's soul? He served power faithfully, but did he serve justice? On his deathbed years later, struck by a cannonball in battle, D'Artagnan's last thoughts are not of the king, but of his friends, of their broken bond, and of the man in the mask. And what of Felipe, the man in the iron mask? He lived out his days in that lonely island cell, his only companion the cold touch of iron, his very existence a lesson, a dark, suspended note in history. The lesson that absolute power can corrupt absolutely, that loyalty without question can be a prison of its own, and that sometimes the greatest tragedies are not of monsters and villains, but of good men forced to choose between duty and conscience, between a crown and a soul. The mask was not to protect the world from him. It was to protect a king from the truth. And the truth is the most dangerous thing of all. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and let me know in the comments what novel you'd like me to tell next.